Hello everyone and welcome back to another aquatic adventure. I'm Erin with Wave Foundation at Newport Aquarium, and I'm actually in our shipwreck Realm of the Eels exhibit today because we are here at one of our shipwreck tanks, and what we're going to be talking about today is artificial reefs. And what you see behind me is structures that look like sunken pots, pieces of a ship in the background, and these all serve as what is known as an artificial reef. And what that means is that it is starting to form a coral reef or like that kind of structure, but it isn't actually coral. And so these pots, these barrels, these wood, all serves as an artificial start to habitat for other animals. So one thing you'll notice on all of the structure is that there's kind of different coloration and brown areas. That's all algae. And that algae is the start of the ecosystem here. Once algae starts to grow on something, or sometimes it's soft corals that actually start the ecosystem, once those things start to grow on these artificial and sunken items, that allows for the basis of a greater ecosystem, because these fish might start to eat the corals and the algae, or many invertebrates are the next ones to come along, sometimes lobsters and crabs. And so those are able to pick at that algae and soft corals. Those invertebrates become food for larger fish like this. These larger fish become food for sharks possibly. And that is now a full ecosystem thanks to these sunken items. So what we call this in biology is succession. And succession refers to that process of organisms establishing in a new area. So the sunken items come first, and then the first organisms to succeed on the sunken reef are those corals, the algae that are forming on those items, then the invertebrates that come to eat those, then the fish, then the bigger fish, and that is the succession. And that coral reef, or that sunken artificial reef, is the start of the whole process. So oftentimes a full sunken ship becomes an artificial reef. There are actually lots of places now that are starting to sink sculptures and art to make artificial reefs under the water that are actually more like museums, and divers are actually attracted to those areas, and it can be really beneficial because then we don't have any harm on natural coral reefs that definitely need our help. So I hope you guys look up some pictures of artificial reefs. They can be beautiful. We've got the start to some here, and I'm hoping I'll be able to show you another friend that inhabits them. Eels are really common on artificial reefs, and our eel is currently hiding, but I might be able to show you a video of it. So stay tuned, and I'm gonna move the camera so you guys can see that friend. So back here behind our artificial reef is where our green moray eel is hiding. And he is again one of those first inhabitants of our artificial reef and our sunken ship.